And as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday, 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge, no hidden, it's free for the play. Tap it right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every age. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Casual Convo Show, where we have conversations about topics that affect the communities, personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. I am the co-host Bosco from the Bronx. We got the Jude in the building.
What up, y'all?
Oh, that was dope how it panned out right on that one. Like,
when I say artist extraordinaire, I mean more than just Peyton. She do everything. You gotta hit her up. And we got the host in the building. Coco, what up?
Hey, y'all.
That's right. Oh, let me fix my Batman camera.
All right, so how y'all doing?
Yo, what up? We might be back.
That's all we can do. That Grant already let me know that you ready. All right, so
ready too.
I'm trying to position myself a little bit, but I ain't right. Anyway, we got a lot to cover tonight, so we're gonna talk a little bit about some life matters. I'm gonna throw that in the beginning, and then some things that's going on in our political arena. We haven't done that in a while, so I think we can kind of touch on that and have some fun with it. But other than that, let's get into the mental health check-in. You guys can go. You want to go first? I'll go last because it'll take me into our first topic.
Well, you know, mine is good. Just real tired. That's all. It's tired as hell. But mine's good. 3 more treatments. My treatments end on my birthday. My birthday.
Hey,
that's what's up.
I'll be ringing the bell, baby. Ding, 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 ding.
You got somebody to record it?
Me. I'm gonna record it.
You want me to come down there so I can record it?
I'm gonna record it.
I'll make us some shirts.
Ring the bell. The song is dying. Oh, hey, ring the alarm. That's a little old school for y'all. So.
A mess. I have a mess.
What's up, people? What's up, my family? What's good?
Hey, you came in right on time. We just getting started.
Yep.
Yeah, we doing mental health check-in. Let's see, what's mine?
I don't know why my thing is so.
Mine is great. My mental health is fine. Yeah, that's all I got to say. It's fine. I'm doing happy. I'm being happy. I'm living happy. I got this. I said I'm doing happy. Right. I'm doing happy. Yes, hey, for real. Doing life in a happy way and focusing on, you know, my goals, trying to achieve some goals. Buying household appliances thingies, you know, I'm settling in my adulthood. I am excited. I got a new little floor thingy today.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I am having fun.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Do happy.
Yeah,
I wish I could be happy. These people right here drive me to the break of damn madness around here because they think you're stupid. For some reason, everybody up here in Asheville in these positions, whatever they want to call themselves, they think everybody is stupid, especially when it comes to black people. Yep. And they got me mistaken for somebody else. I don't know why. Because, like I said, I'm having an issue with these people wanting to give me my money. And the first thing on screen is, well, you know, we have up to 30 days to give your security deposit back, being a landlord. I said, cool. I said, I had no problem with that. I said, that's a security deposit. But I want my money back that y'all would charge me for 5-6 months.
Yeah.
I want my money back. I shouldn't have to wait 30 days for that. I'm out of y'all's property and all that stuff. I need my money.
Yeah.
And then one kept saying, I said, well, show me the policy. So they never did bring the policy. So the woman said, well, We try to have you check tomorrow and come down and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Have my money tomorrow. There's no reason in the world for y'all to be holding my money. You hold my security deposit. Okay, cool. I had no problem with that. But y'all done charge me damn near $1,100 over a period of 5 months. I want my money back. I want my money.
No, they said they give you your money. You say, I want to see the policy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't play that shit with these people. I be researching shit. Like my man told me, he said when Paul come to city council, he research and then he come up here. That's what I do with them. Anything involving these people, I research.
Yep.
And I check that out. And no, y'all cannot hold my money legally like that. That's fraud. Because you got it under false people. Yeah, so give me my money. But otherwise, I'm doing good. I'm still breathing.
Right.
And I'm still
you're looking good. You're looking bright, handsome. Okay. We see you.
Well, thank you. I feel good.
You feel good? All right, so I got something to go. My mental health is, I'm gonna say, great. Short story about this. I'm gonna say why it's great. Because you know how I think I'm very open about my PTSD, right? So from the accident or whatever. So I did an interview.
Yeah.
And I think that I told you, I don't know if I mentioned it last time. Y'all might not remember. Y'all was a little floating.
Oh, really?
So
you might have been high, but you remember everything.
No, so I like kind of froze up or whatever. Yeah. And it never happened to me before. So I was kind of like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I talked about it, you know, from a therapist or whatever. And like prior to, I've never had that happen. So I think when you start to, I'm starting to realize like how many areas of life it can affect. Yep. You know what I mean? Until you really get there. Because I'm like, you know, I never just, I mean, I went blank. I froze. I didn't know what was going on. I literally was panicking. So anyway, learning ways to maneuver through that. And I think I'm kind of like figuring it out, maneuvering through it. Now I know what to do. So I think that's like one of the great things. So I'm going to say it's great because I'm self-aware. And I think that's the most important piece when it comes to dealing with situations and trying to maneuver. So, which brings me to something else. So we just going to roll right into the show. If y'all not following me, I'm just going to roll right along. So bicycle doesn't have any thoughts, but I do. So something I realized over the last couple of days, like this week, I'm gonna say, is you ever encounter someone or people or a person where I think I probably mentioned it to Jude. Everything, like every day is just a bad day. And everything is just like a complaint. Like nothing that occurs. They can get like the best news ever, but it's like it's not good enough. You know what I mean? And it's like when you hear it, it kind of, and when you ask the question like, okay, so what is it that you want, or what will actually not satisfy you, but what will give you like a lift or something? Yeah. And they're like, I don't know, or I'm just trying to, and it's like every day is like something different, and you start to wonder like, are you really like okay? Because you could be having a great day, and then you talk to the person, and it's like because they're complaining, it dampens your mood. Yeah. I want to tie that into the mental health piece. Because I look at it like I think a lot of us are not. When I mention self-aware, the reason why I said it ties all into each other, because when you're aware that it's something going on or an issue that you need to handle, and you know like this is you, I really think a lot of people don't understand. Maybe they need to talk to somebody. And I'm not saying you need medicine. I'm just saying maybe you need to talk to somebody that can give you the tools to navigate through why you can't have a good day, or why every day something is just wrong. You're just always overly frustrated. You're just complaining. Nothing is never good enough. Like even good news, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to just go. And you still thinking about what's next. Like you can't even enjoy a day. And that's not like normal. So I think a lot of times, and I'm noticing this a lot in our community though, where, and I get like things that happen in your everyday life, people don't understand how much of an effect it really, really can have on you. You feel me? So I'm like, just wanted to see like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, since I came down with this cancer, I've seen both sides of the fence where people who how you feel bad because you just feel bad, and you feel bad because you're going through something. And I the way I looked at it, because I was one of those when I found out, I was like, oh well. But then I thought about it. I said, damn man, this is a death sentence. But I said this before I looked into it. I just said cancer, damn, it's a death sentence. But then I read and I talked to my doctors and everything. And then when my doctor said, look, you got at least a 15-year head start. That's without treatment. He said, live those 15 years that you guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to thinking, I was like, yeah. And I said, why wake up every morning saying, damn, man, I got cancer. My whole day is spoiled when I could be taking that same time and saying, shoot, I'm about to turn up. You know, I do have my days where I'm like, you know, damn. And that's because my hormones are down, my levels are down. So things just hit me harder now. It's hard to deal with things little, like, because, you know, like, testosterone was what makes us men. And when it drops down, it's like with estrogen. Y'all drop your estrogen, you know, y'all start flipping too like we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to think to myself, say, okay, remember, man, this is the shot they gave you that's making you feel this way. Do what you got to do. And I do that every day. Every day. There's days I don't want to get out of bed, but I go to my doctor's appointment, and I know I got to get up for that. So once I'm up for that, I'm up for the whole day. I might come back and take a nap, but I've gotten my day started. Some people just wake up I don't want to say bitter, but some people just wake up miserable, man.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have control over it. I think is what I'm saying. I think a lot of times when that's not our normalcy, we might be like, we don't understand it. But what I'm trying to get at is, I think the piece coming to, it has to be a point where we openly have conversations like this, because it's a huge problem and why a lot of us can't succeed.
I say to a point. Reason being, because it's another reason why I took a break from fake social media, because there's a lot of guys that I know who they wake up, and when it comes to our community, yes, and it's more about the social shit. I noticed that as of lately, because, you know, by history, we laugh at anything. You know, we could turn a bad day, we could turn a funeral on Sunday, Christmas Day into a cookout. That's how we are. But I notice how now we got a lot of people in our ranks who just get angry at stuff. You can't even crack a joke no more.
Yeah,
and they get mad.
Sensitive.
Yeah, like I could say a joke about black men, and they'll go off. Oh man, why you putting out black? Dude, I'm joking. I could say my black. Oh, why you putting out black? Dude, I'm joking. And it's like that now. What's up, Q?
Hey, Q.
And see,
hey, welcome. I wasn't even
that's how we are now. Some people just get angry. We're like, dude, what are you getting mad at? This is a joke. You used to laugh at shit like this, but I think now with the political shit and the religious shit, everybody getting all sensitive. Like, dude, go back to how you were. Life was easy. Just chill. Enjoy your life a little bit. Everything's not serious.
I think some people are brought up around it all the time, so that's the norm. What I wanted to say was, I think that having a bad day is normal. It's just having a bad day all the time shouldn't be. You should find some kind of joy sometime in your day, and you don't have to have a bad day all the time. And once you do realize that you are having a bad day, then, or having multiple bad days, like, you gotta put in the work. Like Coco said, go and go talk to somebody, but you got to put in the work to, you know, want to reverse that. You feel me? I feel like I kind of can be that person sometimes, because I can be moody, because life be life, and sometimes I'm just be over it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I also hold myself accountable for, I don't like being that way. I don't like feeling that way. So when I am having, you know, those bad days or whatever, talking about it is, you know, cool, but you got to be careful who you dump on and how you dump and all that stuff. But talking to a therapist is always like key. Black people don't think to go to talk to therapists because of the stigma of if you go talk to therapy, you crazy. And on the healthcare side, you come in and they always try and push meds, and sometimes a motherfucker just need to talk for real.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah, like you could just be going through some shit, and your friends they be going through shit, and
Yeah.
they can't always be your ear all the time. As bad as sometimes your friends need to be your ear, they can't always be your ear. Write in your journal, fucking blog for real. A lot of people put a lot of this shit on, but I agree with Bosco. Everybody's so sensitive. That's why everybody's so angry because when we were growing up, you could be free and say more things. And before that, and I remember at the time, you feel me, like, yeah, when, black people couldn't say this and black people couldn't say that. But in the 90s, growing up, I'm just saying, I grew up in the 90s. We kind of was that era that everybody talk about, like where racism was there, but it really wasn't. You feel me? And I tell y'all all the time, like I grew up around, white only schools, all that, but we ain't care about shit like that. We was more worried about oh yeah, that's probably why so many mixed people now.
Right.
You feel me? Because of that era. You feel me? Now they want everybody to hate everybody. Nah.
Yeah.
Everybody angry because of everything, because of the gay race, politics, the crime in the cities,
This is it's the
underpayment.
same. It's the same stuff that's been around forever, though. So they
Yeah,
shouldn't be mad.
yeah,
It's just that the country, especially our country, our community has gotten weak,
Yep.
yeah,
weak and so oversensitive. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare play the dozens with anybody today.
Nope.
yeah.
You
I
might get
wouldn't dare
killed.
play the dozens with anybody today
Might get
because they'll
killed.
shoot you. Yeah, they'll shoot you. They
You
couldn't take
might
it.
get killed.
Can I
Yeah.
add
They couldn't take it.
to you
I used to love the
a
dozens, yo.
couple things. One, when it comes to the therapy thing, I think, and this is also just from the type of work that I do, and then recently going to the most important piece about a therapist is finding the one that's right for you. You may
Yeah.
have to go through a couple of them that's right for you, but what I did appreciate is the approach now with with new interventions and technology. Medication is not what I see now is not the first thing that they offer. They'll
Right.
go and try to see and try to do like things that you can do. Like one of the things I do is like box breathing, exposure therapy, talk therapy, things like that. Those things can be extremely helpful and resourceful if you actually utilize it. But the important piece to it is you have to want it and you actually have to do it.
Yeah.
It's one thing to go and don't take the interventions home with you and utilize them in situations or do what they ask you to do. That's the only way that it works. But then the other piece too, I just did an in service at work not too long ago, um, in reference to like common sense, like things like that. Like we assume people should know better, which ties into like what you guys were talking about. Like environment, things are different, imbalances within our minds and in our brains, right, can play a part. So just like you and I could have logical thinking, some people really don't think or understand something is wrong because it's like their normalcy. And then a lot of times, going back in the day and even now, we ignore a lot of the signs, even when we see like our loved ones, who really need it. You won't say that. I don't think you need to go talk to somebody. It's like we'll be like, oh, yeah, you fine, you gonna be all right, da da da. When not knowing, they need that non-biased person, and I don't think we can stress it enough. The importance of a lot of times getting back to your friends, your family. Yeah, they can be an outlet of venting, and true, definitely be careful who you vent to. But it's nothing like a person who don't know you, who's not personally involved with you or have a relationship where as though, because some people can see the defense of, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or if you think they're not going to receive it. Because let's just be real, everybody can't receive the truth. Like
Yeah,
I'm one of them type
that is
people.
true.
I'm one of them people. Don't ask me my opinion or what I
Yeah,
see from the outside of the bowl and you're in, and be like, well, that's not it. And you already got it made up. Because I'm not going to agree with you if I can see that this is not, you know, it's something else going on. So I think sometimes just reverting that, and I think we need to have more conversations about the significance of a healthy mind, a healthy life, a stable life and things like that. And that's actually one of the truest things that anybody can tell anyone. And I'm saying that as a person who work in the realm of like mental health, healthcare, and all of those things. When a person can think clearly, logically, and understand, okay, this is it, and they have the appropriate interventions, a great team behind them, and a good support system, the stabilization is marvelous. It's like fantastic. So I just kind of just wanted to, put that out. I think
And
that's a good way to open the show.
And a lot of it be environment too. But
Mhm.
them overly happily motherfuckers make you just as angry as the always grumpy ones. You feel me? You ever like having an okay day and somebody the motherfucker just come in with the chipper spirit?
You know who I don't trust? I don't trust people who have all the stickers on the back of their car. That be
Hell
having
no.
like love this, that. They got like I don't trust them because they got all this happy shit on their car, like 1,000 stickers on the back of their car. But you meet them, they be the biggest assholes. Them are the type of guys that you got to pass on the right because they drive slow in the fast lane. So you got to drive, you got to go around the right side in a slow
I want
lane
you to
to
read
pass
their
them.
stickers.
No, that's them. I can't stand them, man.
Assholes.
I hate them.
You sound a little low.
Turn your mic up. Turn your mic up, Q.
All right.
I don't know
Hold
what
on,
you
hold
have
on.
going on.
Can you hear me?
There you
Am I
go.
clear?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. You be that you see that you'll see them people, in those cars got like the stick figure kids and shit, and or my child is an honor roll student at this high school, and I'm like I bet your child's a fucking your child's a pussy probably. You know what I'm saying? And I look at him right. I'm at the red light. I be at the red light looking at him like this. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
My child, a
Get the fuck out of here.
About your child. Them kids.
Right. Or I'm a Navy mom. Who gives a shit?
My son got A's.
Dude, I want that T-shirt. I gotta get that T-shirt, Jude.
What
it say?
I'm the nicest asshole you'll ever meet.
Yes, I love it. You rocking that shit, sis. You are
Thank
rocking
you, big. My camera keep moving, so I'm on like.
Damn, you got good eyes. I couldn't even see that.
I tell these people, shit, look, I'm wearing glasses. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Mine's in the word.
I don't trust them, man. I don't trust none of them.
Yo, I'm like on the computer. I'm blind as a fucking bat, but I can see everything else. It's that blue light, right? So I'm like, I had to go get reading glasses. You know, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm getting old.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's same. That's what I got reading glasses.
Yeah, because it's like the mental health thing, right? I'm constantly doing mental gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been out of work since October, paying bills, still keeping shit afloat, just monitoring things. You know what I'm saying? Sending out job application after job application, going to interviews, get down to the last interview, doing that interview, and then getting rejected at the end by them stupid ass auto emails, right? So, I got mad for a day. Then I put that shit to the side because I'm saying I would always tell myself I'm better than what they were looking for anyway,
right?
Because it wasn't meant for me to be there. That's the mindset that I've been carrying, and I'm in hustle mode now. Because I was like, fuck that. Go get food stamps, go get the WIC or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to keep this shit afloat until you can get back on your feet. Mm-hmm. So I said to myself, self, don't let this be the death of you. Mm-hmm. Don't let what you're going through be the death of you. You're better than this. You're smarter than this. Mm-hmm. So that's the way you have to carry it now. You know what I'm saying? Just like with you, Bosco, with your cancer treatment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm glad, you getting that shit knocked out. So that's very important. You know what
He
I'm
done
saying? That's
knocked
very
himself out.
important.
He done knocked himself
I
out.
was glad he shared it. Hi Mike. We had actually talked about that. I don't know. No, it wasn't in the. I think it was me, Jude, and Vasco. We were on like a conference call, and I always used to tell him like when he shared his story, it reaches so many people, and especially you hear a lot of women talk about their story, but you don't really hear the man. You don't see too many men share their experiences with how treatment is going or their journey through like treatment and
Yeah.
whatever's going on. So I think that was really cool, and it was good to see like the feedback that he got from just sharing a video, and I think that's like powerful and impactful in a lot of a lot of ways. But okay, y'all ready to start the show? Because I wasn't even to start the show.
I'm like,
He on me.
I want to say something though about that therapist thing because see, at my age, I couldn't trust talking to no strangers about nothing about me because I dealt with everything from everything I went through, all basically alone, going through it alone, really. And I couldn't trust myself. Why am I that way? Damn, it always does it. But yeah, I couldn't trust myself to talk to no strangers about nothing about my life. So therapy wouldn't be in it for me. Even though I can hear it might work for other people that haven't really had to grow up through stuff from childhood all the way up to adulthood by themselves without anybody talking to them and just dealing with shit and going with it. A therapist wouldn't be my friend because me and them wouldn't get along because I wouldn't have nothing to say to them.
You'd be surprised, is what I will say. I'm gonna just say because I can't really say. But what I will say is you will be surprised. And again, the beauty of today is that there are more like therapists, counselors, more places where people are more relatable than you think. That's why I say when you get the one that's for you, like I've had my personal experience. I've had two. And the one that I have now, I really like that. My first one was good, but the one I have now is like great. And the way it depends on the approach. Because even in what I do now, a lot of people will say the same thing. Well, whatever, they just gonna go along with it for whatever's going on. But as you start to talk and then
yeah,
people start to open up. A lot of times it don't happen initially. Sometimes it's you. And I tell people all the time, if you're going to go in with a closed mind, don't do it. You have to go in open and wanting, to share. You don't have to just go in and pour your heart out. They're going to just pretty much guide you in the conversation. And a lot of times it's not like somebody sitting down in front of you with a notepad and they just no, it's really y'all chopping it up because a lot of times, even like through this type of conversation, a person who's a therapist or whoever can be like, oh well, they can pretty much give you some interventions that could be helpful, or they can give you some resources that may be helpful for whatever it is that you're going on. So that's why I said it all depends on finding a person or the right therapist or counselor for you. And again, you don't have to take any medication. You can.
yeah,
People,
yeah.
people
You
require
don't
meds.
always have to take.
That right there.
No, I'm just saying because people even I'm sorry, but even
Go
like
ahead.
even but mine like they'll offer something. I no, and they just give me. I just do like the resources and the tools that they give me when I'm in certain situations, and I feel on that, and it's been working and improving. So a lot of times they'll try other methods, and if you're opposed to it, you can say that initially, and that will be a very last. Yeah, they go based on what you want, and that's the thing. People don't understand that you do have autonomy over your care.
Yeah.
So, welcome y'all. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Home and all
Now
that
come
good
on to
shit.
trip, like what you got on that?
Um, no, just no. We're talking about the therapy part. So in Maryland, before you get juvenile life, they got to give you a psychological evaluation. So I've been in counseling all my life, and it didn't necessarily teach me about myself. It just teach me that I'm good at manipulating people. So I think I went through therapy labeled as a person that come into therapy and do reverse psychology all through my therapy sessions until I turned 16. And then when I turned 16, I just felt like talking. Um, and then I think once the state realized that I'm too intelligent to keep getting locked up and be thrown behind these concentration camps here, they put me in the advocacy program and independent living. So therapy, I say therapy works, especially like when you're younger, because majority of the time you have like unresolved issues. You feel me? Like my burden was I was smart, but I wanted to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like I did, but I didn't want to stand on corners. I wanted to find another way to get some money, right? And then explaining it to them, like, well, Mike, you're a straight A student. Why are you outside robbing people? Allegedly. Well, no, I can say that was a juvenile. So I definitely was robbing
That's
people. I
good.
got juvenile life. So what I told him was I was bored. It wasn't a challenge. School wasn't a challenge, right? And selling drugs took too long. And then I realized the drug dealer can't call the police. Who are they going to call? I figured it out. That was my Rubik's Cube, they said. But then I got old and I realized that um, understanding who you are take a lot longer than what most people think. Right? Everybody got different phases and stages they got to go through to find out who they are. I know who I am. It took me a while. I really had to move out of my environment to realize that I'm a very peaceful person. No matter how violent people may say I used to be. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to be on beaches and water and away from people. So I say therapy as an adult for me might not work, but I watch people go through therapy because sometimes you need people that don't judge you. Family are judgmental motherfuckers, like opening up to your mother, your father. Like my best friend is my dad. You know what I'm saying? I tell him anything I how I'm feeling. He already know. Like, all right, Mike, look, that shit sound good, but I need you to stay straight. You know what I'm saying? So I come up with an idea that involves, some alleged unethical behavior. You know what I'm saying? And he'll pull me back like, nah, it ain't really worth it. So I found a glitch in the matrix as soon as my
Hey, Fro.
5 minutes
What
of
does that
juvenile.
mean?
I know what it's.
What happened? I thought y'all
Oh,
froze.
I thought it was me that
Yeah,
I
asked
thought
must have been
everybody
Mike
froze
froze.
up
Yeah,
for a
must have
minute. I
been
was like, what
Mike
the hell
froze.
happened?
it's
You got
supposed
it.
to
You
be
got a
smooth
signal from the mothership. That was a signal
It's
from the
supposed to be a
mothership.
smooth combination.
Yeah. So
I was a kid.
Swing
no, but
down, sweet cherry,
no, but I
stop.
want to. Yeah, but I don't want to hold up the start of the show. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, I've realized that without my father in my life for a while, you know what I'm saying, forced me to go outside and be very, very adventurous. And I'm a Gemini, so this is what we do. My dad's a
What?
Virgo, so my dad was
What?
like, huh?
What we did? I missed that part. What we did?
Oh, we
He
are very
said, "Y'all be
adventurous.
hoes. Y'all be hoes."
Nah,
Basically, what he
I ain't saying
said.
nothing about
Y'all
no
some
hoes.
hoes.
I said I wasn't no hoe when I was little. I was robbing, so I don't know about the being the hoe part. But we turned into adventurous people. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be a gangster, so I wanted to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I was rooting for it. And then when I
Oh,
got
okay.
to jail, I realized it was like, okay, I've been here. This shit's stupid. Let me let me let me get a lawyer and get about this situation. But I had to. It's something that I wanted to do
Mhm.
because everything else came natural. And then when my dad got out of jail, there he became my therapist.
Hi, Dub. 1 second. This.
All right, so all right, y'all can start the show now. You know what I'm saying? I'm back.
Oh no, I was
Uh,
talking to. I'm sorry, I was talking to the comment.
oh,
I thought I was on mute. My bad.
oh,
Hold on.
oh, that's how I want to hold it up. But yeah, I think therapy now, for younger men, if we don't get in therapy when we're young, when we get older, we feel like shit. We already went through all the hardships. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else left but death for most of us, for real. Because at the end of the day, we done stepped in all the shit we can step into. I'm 40. I don't really think I'm be jumping off no rooftops and diving in no pools anymore. You know what I'm saying? All the fun shit done. So, and I ain't not in COVID because I know she'll psychoanalyze everybody. But I think like
No,
as
I
we get,
don't.
but I'm thinking about as
As
we
you
get
know, as you mentioned, we're Geminis. Geminis are generally analytical,
correct.
but I just think when it comes from a perspective of
Damn, that look
it's not
good.
No, it's not like psychoanalyzing. It's just
Yeah,
more so
I want to
like
play. That shit was steaming.
what?
Oh my bad. I'm still looking what you had. It was like smoking.
Oh,
No, that's some cake. That's some cake
Oh that
shit.
oh that look good.
I'm,
I'm definitely a
you
cake
know me.
nigga.
I got the munchies right now.
Oh, I ain't got no munchies, but that shit did look heavy.
Wait, what it taste like?
Yeah,
all right.
No, but I
So,
think like no, go ahead. I don't want to hug the show. I'm back.
oh
I'm
no
I
no
want
no
to.
no no. It's not about psychoanalyzing anybody. I think it comes from a better perspective, and sometimes I think oftentimes we tend to look at every situation from our personal experience. And a lot of times you got to come from out of your personal experience and try to put yourself and actually listen to what a person is saying because people are literally telling you their experience or whatever and see it from that perspective. Like we can relate some things, we can do some things, but everybody's walk is different and that's just a natural thing. So when we assume a person should have a thought process like the one that we have, or they should maneuver through life because this is how we maneuver through life, that's just unrealistic. And I think a lot of times, most of us don't have a realistic way of thinking or view a thought process because we only know our walk.
See, but
So, I mean,
I agree with you. That's why I don't believe that
yeah,
regular people can talk to
but I don't
criminals.
psychoanalyze people. Hi, Dub, how are you?
No, but I stand on that. Like I don't think even when I was a juvenile, when they were sending people into juvie to talk, and I can't relate to the motherfuckers, bitch. I'm out here getting this money. You talking about mother on welfare? My mother not on welfare. You know what I'm saying? They would come in like, oh, your father. You don't know who your father is. My father was doing 20 years in jail. I can tell that nigga anytime I want. It was like so much different stuff that didn't relate to me. Oh, Mike, you can't read. I'm a straight A student. You know what I'm saying? I'm a captain of the wrestling team, football team, and track team. This is just my summer break to go somewhere for free.
Yeah,
Like we got locked up, and I went to the Holocaust Museum, being a juvenile delinquent, nigga. Like I went to Philly, I went to every field trip and museum they was offering in Maryland. Like, and people didn't understand that, like, because they think juvie is like jail. Like we went swimming and all. Like this is a mini camp for me. I'm gonna do these 6 months, and I'm gonna come back home and be chilling. So once they
Mm,
started like
mm,
sending
mm.
people, it was a guy named Dr. Funkenstein. He's from India, black guy, and he was the one that reached out to us. You know what I'm saying? He told us like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they can't take your education from you. So I'm gonna give you all these books, all the smart kids, and you tell me what you want. I mean, he the first person to give me the book from the author Richard Wright. You know what I'm saying? I learned about Langston Hughes. You know what I'm saying? The little crystals, you know what I mean? Little crystal stairs poem, like. So yo challenged all the smart criminals because they were trying to bunch us all together. I write and read in cursive like it ain't shit. Like math wasn't nothing. So I think like once they really invested in us for a while before they tried to up us as adults, because they realized that the smarter guys who are breaking laws, we really thinking this through. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not outside as juveniles like
They
busting
realized that was
windows.
serial killers
Well,
when
yeah,
they did the documentary on
true.
serial killers,
Yep.
and they thought that all serial killers were illiterate. And then H. Holmes,
Yep.
they realized he was a doctor. They looked
He's
at
a
Ted
doctor.
Bundy, and
Mm-hmm.
and then they realized that a lot of them were actually
Smart.
very intelligent.
Ted Kaczynski.
Yep.
So
yeah,
they knew that for a long time. It's
yeah.
just
The
Yeah.
that
best criminals
they
have a high
just like
IQ.
they just expect to hold us to a certain caliber.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of
Jail. I don't care. The juvenile system, they under investigation right now for
yes. All the drink that was jumping off in
molest.
Charles Hickey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it's
pedophile them
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. When they was in Charles Hickey and them stab was praying on the week.
You should have
You know what
stayed
I'm
out of
saying?
there. I wouldn't
I
have wanted
was
to keep
hold on.
going
I
there.
was in Hickey, but I was behind the wall. You feel me? I was in
Hickey on
Roosevelt.
your list?
all right, all
Yeah.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We at the
I
40
told you
minute mark.
started.
The Wayne
Yeah, I
started,
told you
yeah,
start
but
the
you
show.
you kind of kept going. I was trying to let y'all. I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
trying to be that person tonight, but I see I gotta chime
I
in.
need you to be. You know what I'm saying?
All
I'm
right.
back.
Oh, don't tell me that. I got it now. You don't gotta tell me that. Welcome, Dub, to the show. We're gonna get into a little bit of politics a little bit. You okay with
Okay.
that?
I'm Gucci. Let's
So, Mike,
go.
you haven't met Dub. Dub was
Oh
a
no,
guest last
I
week.
definitely heard y'all last week though. I'm ready.
All right. So, um, okay, let's talk about your boss. So
Hey, what up? Yeah, what about him?
he's going through a breakup. I mean, I don't know if everybody has been seeing the headlines where him and Elon have broken up, and it's a messy breakup. Okay, it's a really messy breakup. So, um, What are your thoughts on the breakup between Trump and Musk, especially when it's involving the bill? I'll save my thoughts for last. Look at
You gotta say Musk.
I was just wondering why it
Musky
took
and
so
Trumpling.
long. I knew it was gonna happen. I was why it took so long.
Right.
It was two assholes. Boy, it's like
You gotta raise your
Put your
volume.
mic up,
You can't
Q.
hear you. Try
mic
to
up.
take it off.
Can you hear me now?
You-
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A little bit more. Nope.
Now you can't,
you
can't
went
hear
low.
you now.
Can't hear you.
You went low
Get
again.
out. Just do
You got,
use
just
your
take, yeah,
regular
just
audio.
let's take your audio.
Yeah, use your regular audio.
Oh
Nope,
no, you
can't hear
on mute.
Oh, now
I'm
you
mute
on mute,
yourself.
man.
You mute yourself. Unmute
You
yourself.
mute yourself. You're on mute, man. Now we can't hear you at all.
All right, there you go.
There you go. There you go.
Every week. This is
All right. It was two assholes that thought they could get along, but they both got money, and they both want to. It's like a dick swinging contest with them two, because Trump. Look, Mr. Shitty Diaper, because that's what he wears. He wears diapers. Okay,
You can see that.
people don't know that, but
can see
I
it.
found out that dude wears the pins.
You can see him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why he
I
always
look at his butt and see how
No, but you can. No, you can tell. You can tell. You ain't got the look. You can tell. You can
I
tell.
must ain't had my bifocal on.
I was like,
You don't need my
and then,
Coco. I was seeing them when my eyes were bad before I got my eyes fixed. So,
and Musk, right? That motherfucker's on ketamine.
He on something.
Man.
Allegedly.
No,
allegedly.
I mean, come
They ain't no
on,
allegedly.
wait a
You ain't about to get me, but allegedly.
He's on that shit.
Because we don't have
wait
proof.
a second.
Allegedly.
Wait a second. Wait
He's
a
on that
second.
shit.
So are you telling me that you didn't think Biden was beyond his expiration date
Hold
when you
on,
voted
man.
for him?
Oh yeah, we knew that.
Oh, we said that.
We knew that was
Oh,
the bridge,
Hell
bro.
yeah. We said all
You
the
said it.
motherfuckers is getting up there. They all in their old ways.
We knew. Hey, we knew Biden was going when the bridge fell out in Baltimore. When he walked up, that like,
Okay,
he's
so
gone.
He
okay,
wasn't even
let's go
saluting
with
the
that.
soldiers for getting
I like
shit.
that. I like that. I
You
like
hear the
that
way
right
he
there.
was talking?
Y'all ready for me? Since y'all talking about my boss?
No, I like that, but why would you vote for that?
Go ahead and try to do the cover story, Mike. Go ahead.
Hold on. What was Duck saying?
Since y'all talking about my boss and shit.
Hold up,
Wait
I'm
a minute, Mike. Before you talk about your boss, let me just say this. I expected this.
Yeah.
As I expect Trump businesses to fail.
Okay,
Hold
wait
on.
1
So
second.
wait.
Okay.
Yeah, they but Doug.
But
I mean, he ain't heard Doug yet.
what I'm trying to figure out is if you knew that Biden was not so okay up in the brain, right? Before he even got elected as president, why did you vote for him?
Who said we voted for him?
Okay. I never voted for Biden.
That's the
key. Let me straighten this out.
We missed a couple of shows.
Hit the wrong podcast.
Somebody straighten that out.
Let me straighten this out right now.
Please.
Okay.
Somebody straighten it out.
I don't trust any of these politicians. First and foremost, because the country, America.
I don't help.
People in America. No. Wait. People in America are ignorant to the voting system. You want to know why I say this? Because the president is selected, not elected. Okay?
Okay, this doesn't help either.
You vote by proxy for the president. Okay?
That's why
you have the senators. That's why you have the senators voting whoever in.
What you're saying is we're all just effed because we're effed. The way the system runs, we're just that's the way it is.
All right, let me get in here because I'm the
guy. Did you vote for Biden? And if you did, then tell me why. Because you knew before he was running that he was messed up in the brain.
No, Mike voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump. So let's
talk.
Let's get it popping. I voted for Trump 3 times, so we can keep it. We can go. We can go back and watch some shows. Yeah, so let's have this conversation. So this is what happens. 2 to 3 things that happen. White America love voting in old white people. Period, point blank. They haven't decided that they want to vote in anybody young. So when we start to look at what we have intellectually, from an intellectual standpoint, it doesn't actually have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be party wise, but intellectual. You go, well, what would be the better candidate? Right? I voted Trump. Period. I needed somebody who can run this country like a business, and I work with the military, and I allegedly work with the the intellectual collective of collections community. That's who I work for. Okay, so I worked for NSA, I worked for the CIA, and I worked for the Pentagon. So I know exactly who I was voting for, and I know the reasons why. Now, as of today, that we come with Elon and Trump is because Elon didn't get what he wanted. He wanted them white Africans brought over here, and that shit, we wasn't having it. Period, point, motherfucking blank. The problem is with this country is that everybody get caught up with these whack ass statistics that they keep saying that the United States is made up of 60% white. That's not true. And they keep saying that black people are 13% of the population, and that's not true. Because you start looking at our birth rates, it clearly understands that we are younger within this country, and so is the Mexican. So the Mexican, the Latino, and the black are running with the youngest generations in the United States. Right? White people have been and always have been at a -1 birth rate. This is the reason why the abortion clinics got blocked. We're not oblivious to what the fuck is going on because we live in a city where if you actually go down to Planned Parenthood, they had pulled that 75% of the people that get abortions are white college girls that's not even from our state. So now we know why they passed the immigration laws. We was part of that. And then they end up bringing droves and droves of Ireland and Germanic people here because we know that y'all population as white people are dying off. Yep. This is why each year they keep trying to propagate where they want to pull from because Italy is dying, because Greece population is dying. See, when we start talking about the world, white people are 13% of the whole world population. The only majority that they had was in the United States. So Elon thought that he was going to do them a favor by them making up a false narrative in South Africa that these so-called white people were getting slaughtered. And then when the South African president came over here, and when the other representatives of the South African party said, y'all can go home. The same shit that white people like to say to black people all the time. Yet, if you look at all our genealogy, my family been here. My family been here since 1497.
So my question, I guess, to you would be is do you want to step into the ring and try to tell these dumbass white people that they got to stop with this abortion bullshit, or are you just going to sit on the sidelines?
So we're going to talk about that. So then in Maryland, we actually went out and we actually voted against having abortions here. We was one of them in the forefront because we know 9 times out of 10 when things usually go wrong in college campuses, everybody can get raped. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter black, white, yellow, or indifferent, right?
Like I don't want to, but I mean we gotta stop. I'm sorry, but we gotta stop talking about the like 0.02% of these things and start talking reality because
we talk reality, right? So we go reality, right?
Come on, man.
Y'all gotta go one at a time. Y'all gotta go one at a time. That's the only thing that I ask. Don't cut each other off. But keep it quick. We got other stuff we got to talk about.
I'll be quick. But I'm just saying, like, we got to be real. Like, this is 0.02% of all this stuff is actual rape. So then we got to be real and address some of it. Is, I mean, they made a mistake as a couple, and they made a mistake, and that's what it is. But whatever. But why is it that we should be pushing off sex so far as to 30, or marriage so far as to 30? That's pretty far out there. That's the furthest out there it's ever been. So
okay, so there's a book called Birth Dearth, right? That's written by a white guy, not the author. He said that when it comes to civilized societies that they notice it, most white women are given a marriage to go to pursue a career, right? Most white women nowadays are career driven. This is in the book. I'll send you the link. I'll pop the source because that's what I do.
Okay. Good. Good.
So what they said is.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Mike. Can I ask a question? How the hell did we get here? The question was, how do y'all feel about the breakup? I want both of you men to understand that y'all talking about a women issue, and there's two women up here, and this is what happens. Men run the police and tell women what to do with their body.
All the damn time. Why is it always that?
But what I'm saying is that
why is it always that? Men can't tell shit about women to do nothing. Why is it always that? Why we always up there?
Listen, so let me tell you what I was talking about. Okay, since immigration for the white African was part of the deal, that deal fell through, and Elon feels like he got slated out of the deal.
No, I'm
That's
not
why they
feeling
beefing.
this. I don't think this has anything to do with the white African.
It did.
Whatever.
It did.
No.
It was big as hell. It was big. It was big as shit. No,
Sorry,
this wasn't
my
about
friend.
business. This was about being able to manipulate America to feel sorry for the white African because they were supposed to be getting their land taken and killed.
I thought it was about the tax.
Hold on. When I jump in, I need everybody to just stop. I gotta get control. So I understand everybody gonna get heated. So what I gather from what I understood, especially when it comes about the bill and the deficit and all of this other stuff, we are fucked economically. Point blank. Period. That's just what it all boils down to. We're fucked. Period. So the bill that Trump has that Elon does not benefit from because you know what? It attacks the Teslas and all of that other stuff. It's gonna cost him even more money, and his businesses are already plummeting. Which is, I knew he was going to walk away because his businesses was taking a hit. No matter who you are, what you do, even down to Trump, who is a businessman, who still has businesses tied to a lot of things. When it comes to economically, if their businesses are affected, yes, they're going to have a problem with that. So to try to eliminate that and then make it to something else, and we already know scandal and propaganda is always going to be mixed in.
I'm sorry, what somebody else is trying to interject or inject into this conversation is that there's some kind of idea that white people and are involved with South Africa, and there's some kind of exception that needs to be. No one gives a shit about white South Africans. Don't fucking try to say that now. Excuse my language. But I'm sorry, dude. No. Don't try to act like that was ever a part of the agenda. It never has been. It would never be. It's not going to happen. For the last 20 years, have we ever heard anything about that? No, we haven't. It's never going to get introduced. It's never going to get accepted. I don't give a shit what you're trying to say. It's
What's
wrong.
not getting accepted? What are you talking about?
Because Trump trying to make it accepted.
Make what accepted? What are you talking about?
The white South African, like bringing the
white
African,
right.
South African population.
Right.
He's bringing them here and allowing them citizenship.
One at a
He did a
time.
whole conference with the African guy. Wait a minute, Dub. He did a whole conference. Wait a minute, Dub. Hold up. Wait a minute. He did a whole conference with that African guy. Can't remember exactly who it was. Talking about the black Africans having racism against the white Africans, wanting to bring white African farmers over here. But then the white people in America started complaining about that because what happened was they were already putting that in motion, I guess, back with his first term, and the white people got fucked over. There are a few people on TikTok, whole little videos about it. I don't know, you can go and search it yourself, but there were people complaining about, them coming over and supposed to have farmers. They had no farming experience. That just made the news like a couple weeks ago. They aren't actually farmers. They own most of the land and all this stuff. Some of them own more land over there. But Donald Trump said himself he wanted to bring them to America. He wanted to bring them to America.
I got you. Let me just ask you a quick question. My question is, so you believe that there were just some whiteys that were sent over to that area, and there were just rich people that were sent over to that area because they were like they felt like they could do it. You know, you got the money,
No,
you
what the
can do it.
Africans are fighting for is
And
saying
then
that
so
they
they
came over
went
there
over
and
and they did it.
colonized them. They're fighting over there. That guy that they just tried to assassinate a bunch of times, they were unsuccessful trying to have Africa unite as one. They're fighting back for that. The same way, you know, we did over here in the United States fight for our rights. They are now actively doing that in Africa. So no, we're not saying that that's what we want. We're not saying that we agree. We're saying that that's Africa's business and we dealing with American shit, and Trump needs to mind his business and leave them over there and deal with the problems that we're having here in America. I think that's what we're saying. Whether you voted for
Yeah,
that motherfucker or
I
not.
would agree. I would agree with you. I would say that for sure, like all this with these white people that are farmers over there, they're not going to get accepted anyway. Just leave it the way it is. I don't know. That's not going to happen. But
Yeah, no taking
that's
race
just
out of
my.
it, all
And
America agree with that.
furthermore, let me get this point too, because you know that Christians are going to get killed over there because that's not Christian country over there.
I disagree.
I'm gonna be quiet.
I disagree. You talking about in Africa? In Africa, they do have Christianity over there. They're actually
it's mainly Christian.
They have the same way that we have different cultures. They do.
South Africa is Catholic.
Generally speaking, no, come on. I mean, come on.
You want to stand on that? You want to bring that one into it? Dub,
that
you
was
sure you want to go down there?
No, I'm sorry.
I'm here. Let me go. I traveled the world. Can I get in?
I'm just saying, I got whole
Can I get in?
flavors.
Can I get in here? Can I get in?
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Mike's going to go, and then we're going to let Q go. Okay?
Yeah. So listen, this is what I'm gonna say. I done traveled the world, so it's Christianity everywhere. It's in China, Africa, it's in the Middle East, it's everywhere, and it's the same Bible. But what I'm saying, when I did talk about why that deal went through, and then when he proposed this bill, it just was the icing on the cake. You see what I'm saying? We didn't get to the bill part. I was talking about where he tried to get his people to come over here. And then now I'm gonna wrap it up. Okay, so
no. I was saying thank you because that's where I was originally going with it, and then y'all put in some other stuff. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't trying to talk about the other stuff. This is facts I deal with. So let me go deal with this fact. So he tried to get his people over here. That shit didn't go through, and then Trump went and dicked his automobile down because he already said he does not like electric vehicles. He hate electric vehicles. He think they're unreliable. And there's many studies that proven, even when the last storm that happened in Chicago, and people were literally could not even recharge their batteries. Mm-hmm. So he has evidence where it has failed. He is not for electrical vehicles, and I'm with him because I'm on gas, no brakes. You feel me? So when he wrote the bill, it was no surprise that he was going to tear Elon EV proposals in half because he doesn't believe that electronic vehicles are a high commodity in the Midwest and the upper New York and where it gets cold. The only time the vehicles are performance in their best is in California and in the South. So I knew once he wrote the bill.
Here's part of the thing is what do people want to do? If you're honest, you think that since in the electric vehicles, the batteries that they produce, there's a certain amount of some certain rare earth mineral, and we just found a bunch of that in
cobalt,
Nevada or something.
Yes, it's called cobalt. Yeah.
So then now we're supposed to just dig all that up, and then we're gonna ruin it, dude. We're gonna ruin our entire ecosystem. Like it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's not.
Let's be clear. So
climate change.
The ecosystem the environment is already ruined.
Not already ruined, man.
Yeah, I don't want to tag team against Dub, but what I'm telling you is that right now it's not economically sound to even start drilling anywhere. Our whole infrastructure sucks. Bridges are collapsing all over the United States. They just had a big They just had a big tornado that just wiped out majority of the people that lived in the rural parts of Oklahoma. We have to look at China and look at our infrastructure and understand that we are 10 to 20 years behind. So even if we start digging up cobalt, which is what they're talking about, because they don't want to have to go and do business with what was happening in Gambia, and they don't want to have to deal with what's happening in the Republic of Congo, right? It's a whole civil war.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
But it
matter.
But it does matter. If you walk around right now,
country grounds are already foundation already unstable.
But it does matter because Obama tried to get an infrastructure bill passed through the House and the Senate, and it got blocked. And now when Maryland Bridge just collapsed, and then they just hit the bridge up in New York, and that almost collapsed because our infrastructure is behind. And we the people who actually walk around and actually study like infrastructure. I do network engineering. I'm a network infrastructure designer. I know exactly what's going on with our networks. I know why we behind. I know why wireless 6 ain't being pushed. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. What you doing? Why you keep disappearing? We need to see your face.
So I know. Yeah, so I know. Listen, so I know why wireless Wi-Fi 6 ain't being pushed. I know why the new satellites ain't been launched.
Before y'all go further, Dub, I want to let you know you can curse. Speak your mind. This is a show where you can say. Don't feel like you can't say what you have to say. Say what you got to say. Just let you know.
No, I got a lot to say, but it's like
we respect everybody's view, even if it's different.
But Doug,
I don't believe.
Well, let me ask you this.
Hold on, let him finish.
Let him finish. Let Doug finish. What's up, Doug? What's up, Doug?
I don't believe that solar is something that's going to be this end all be all of our problems as far as like greenhouse gases are concerned. Number one, I have my own personal beliefs on that side, but number two, it's obvious. I mean, it doesn't make any sense because if you put up the statistics between digging for these minerals and what it actually gets you, like the statistics don't make any sense. And then furthermore, like China is the number one offender, or I believe they are. It's either China or India is the number one offender on stuff like carbon gases. Oh, yeah. And guess what? We all live on the same world. So if we cut ours down and they don't, then what are we going to do? Like, we all live on the same world, so it don't matter anyways. So don't tell me that this is going to be some end-all, be-all, big-time. Go ahead. Somebody else can talk. I think you figure out what I'm getting on, so go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm with you too. So I don't believe that it's going to change. The only time they had a carbon footprint that decreased is when they had the COVID and they started locking down the countries. And they came back out and they said, well, damn, if people literally stay home, the environment will heal itself. They actually did the research. So that's why they started pushing remote working.
Sorry.
But you got to. I mean, it's science.
Let's let Q go. I'm sorry.
Hold up. Wait, because
hold on. Q's been waiting patiently.
That's why I was asking you, dog. I was saying the environment's already fucked up. It's been fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because of what? Human beings, right? Human beings are the reason. Human beings are the reason why shit is the way it is. Because of what? Power. People love power.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They love power. They crave power. They want dominion over others. Okay? That's his bottom line. Hell, did you watch, matter of fact, did you watch what happened in Kansas City? I think last week with the white supremacists coming out of all vans.
Yeah.
Okay, now my intent would have been to lock them some bitches in there and driver and leave them some bitches in there to rot. Okay.
So some white supremacists came out.
Yeah, they came out of a U-Haul van, coming out of 2 U-Haul vans. You can look that shit up. That shit is on YouTube. That shit is on TikTok. That shit is on everywhere. Mass media does not tell you these things. Okay?
Like
okay,
the guy in
wait a
Washington
minute,
State.
before y'all go, is one voice I have is one voice I have not heard at all tonight. Paul, do you have anything to say before Dub goes? And then after Dub, I want Mike to go. But if Paul doesn't have anything, Dub, you can go. Then Mike. Remember, we still got stuff to go, so we're gonna spend 5 minutes on this more, and then we moving on.
Yep.
Nah, what I'm gonna say is this right here, as far as Trump going, these minerals and all this good stuff. See this Helene event that hit down in Florida and came up here supposedly and destroyed half of our damn town and half of Western North Carolina. There's lithium up in these hills up here.
Yep. A lot of it.
There's lithium up in these hills. And see, Trump kept coming back here, back and forth, up here to North Carolina, especially up here to Swanoa, up in that area and stuff, promising these people, hey, I'm going to get y'all shit back together quickly. Yep. Chuck Edwards going to hop right on it. Chuck, I want you to get right on it.
Yep.
The people voted for him. They fell crazy for that shit. They ran out and voted for him and everything. They forgot the unity. They forgot the unity that we had built and established here amongst the black, white, Hispanic, LGBTQ, and everybody else because we had nobody else helping us here.
Yep.
So now, when y'all went back to acting nasty, Trump then got in there and said, fuck y'all.
He did. He said
he done said, fuck y'all.
He said that money, remember that money we were supposed to get, Paul? He told us, no, Ashland ain't getting shit. Yeah, he told us.
I remember he said that y'all was supposed to, I'm sorry to cut you off. He said that it was a shame how Biden did y'all and left y'all hanging. This is when he first took office because y'all were flooded. And he went down there and he said he was going to make sure that y'all got some money and that y'all was going to rebuild. And then when he went there, he said, fuck y'all, because y'all ain't
No. Let me finish filling you in, though. Let me finish filling you in so you get the whole idea, because, see, everybody's not hearing everything that's really going on with these people. And the thing is, see, they wanted our sheriff, who happens to be a black man, they wanted him to go out here and track down illegal immigrants.
Yep.
For them.
Yep.
We don't want you doing your job. We want you to take your department and go out here and track down illegal immigrants.
Yep.
So the sheriff said, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, now if they out here committing crimes, I'll take them to jail. And if they want it or whatnot, then so be it. But I'm not going to go out here just harassing people just because you want me to.
That's that overseer mentality.
So we end up, guess what? We end up on the sanctuary list.
Yep.
But see, he knew this already. Trump and his administration knew this already. But we were
hold on. We need
there you go.
to slow.
Hold up. I done had enough. Don't go cutting in on me. You've been cutting in on everybody else be talking. Please don't cut in on me. I didn't cut in on you. I ain't said nothing. And she said you ain't heard my voice. So I thank you. Very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. As I was saying, he done let these people down up here. I don't believe in nothing that Trump is doing, period. Trump has always been a badass businessman. I was back in the day when he had the USFL. He's the one that sunk it. He had a chance to have his football league. He sunk it.
He sunk it. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
He sunk it.
He sunk it.
Every business, they say Trump is a hell of a businessman. Trump is in debt. Trump needed to be the president so he can get some damn money. That's why everything he's doing is involve money because his ass is broke.
And plus,
and he knows, and he knows,
holding it. Let him finish, please.
And he knows that the only way he gonna stay out of jail is to be president, getting all this money that he can. He knows that. That's why he's trying to get laws and all this stuff passed for immunity. He got that immunity. God dang, this man ain't nothing but a straight fucking crook. And he got people eating out of his damn hand, believing he's gonna do something for them. And what's been done? Like they said, what happened to the Doge money? What happened to them $5,000 checks? What happened to that?
They left the building.
They became Dodge chicks. They left the D out in the first place. There was supposed to be two D's in there. D-O-D-G-E, Dodge. They didn't mean Doge, they meant Dodge. We ain't giving y'all shit. We ain't here going through all this shit, getting what we need, blah, blah, blah. Like you said, him and Elon weren't going to stay together long because Elon paid for him to get in there and do what he needed to do. Trump opened the books up for Elon because Elon was running around the country paying people millions of dollars to vote for him and all this shit and all this stuff. It wasn't never no loyalty there. Never no loyalty there. It was all about business, money. He's still over here begging for money, over here in Qatar and shit, begging for planes and shit. Ain't nobody offer you shit, man. Stop lying on people. You lied on the damn South African men. You brought the man over here to ambush him, and he turned around and ate your motherfucking ass up. You people are so damn wicked. Wicked and evil.
Can I go to the next
Don't cut me off. I'm saying that when I say you people, I'm talking about these Republicans, Trump and them, these white Republicans that have been. Do not cut me off. Hey, tell him don't cut me off. Tell him don't be cutting on my conversation. Don't cut him off. Don't cut him on my conversation again. Don't cut in on my conversation again. I don't want to hear shit you got to say. Don't cut in on my conversation again.
Time out. We are not.
We need y'all to stop. So what we got to do, and we got to remember, everybody's perspective is respected. I mean, even if we don't agree, but everybody can state how they what their perspective is and what it is. We just ask that y'all don't cut each other off. But I am going to ask that we all keep it short. After I will let you say what you got to say, and then I'm going to move on. Because what we're not going to do, I don't mind. Let me finish. I don't mind a debate. I don't mind any of that. I don't mind people, you stating what you got to say. You say what you got to say. Y'all can debate all day long, but we going to keep it respectful. But when Bosco or I chime in, I need everybody to just stop. Just respect the host. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Bro, my whole response is like, that was like really long-winded, but I mean, it's like, bro, can we agree on this point? Is if someone is illegal, they are illegal. That's it. Like, it don't matter whether they broke laws or whatever. Can we just agree that they're illegal? If they're illegal, then they're illegal. Can we agree on that?
Let me say something. I can agree with that to a point, and let me say why to a point. Reason I say to a point, because we have people who are here and they have that type of status where they can't be touched, and a lot of them are still being shipped to countries that they're not even associated with. That's the issue I have. And because like here in Asheville or here in Western North Carolina, we have a large influx of people from Russia and the Ukraine. A lot of people here, probably about a good 20 to 25%. And none of them are getting snatched up. We got like Paul said about our sheriff here, Quentin Miller. They try to put the stigma on him. He's like, no, I'm not arresting anyone. Just run up in someone's house to pull them out. If you're not so crime, I'm not going to grab you.
You gotta let him finish. No. Hold up, stop. You gotta let him finish the thought, and then you can go.
Like he's saying, I'm not going to just go grab people just because a lot of people have been grabbed. And we found out, okay, they weren't supposed to be taking, like the hairdresser they took. They said he was MS-13. They found out he had nothing to do with it. A lot of people have got arrested that had sanctuary, what do you call it? They had it where you couldn't touch. They had protections, but they were still taking. Those are the issues I have.
What I'm trying to talk about is if someone is illegal, then it is obvious by the letter of the law that they are illegally here. They can't be here unless they are legally here. So
that's true. But we need to have those across the board because we got a lot of Ukrainians and Russians here. That just
I don't care about any of them.
Hold up, stop. After Jude, we moving on to something else. Because y'all stressing
But
me out a
I
little
don't
bit.
care
I'm
about
trying not to
any
go
of
there
them.
So
None of them matter to me,
with
but
Dub,
they shouldn't matter to you, though.
yeah,
That's the
but
point. They
What
shouldn't. None
Dub
of them
was
matter to me.
saying,
They shouldn't matter to
Yeah.
you.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what Dub's saying is, I agree. If you
Mm-hmm.
are here in the country illegally, no, you should not be here. And I
Yeah.
only feel like that because, like I said before, if you're in any country illegally, you
Yeah.
are not supposed to be there. No country is lenient on that, and some countries have harder punishments than we do.
Right.
So
Right.
I
I
just
agree.
do not agree with the way he's doing it, like how Bosco's saying. I don't like that some everybody that's getting deported is not illegal. Everybody that's getting deported is not a part of MS-13 or some type of gang or something. You deporting people back to countries that they're not. And then if you've ever worked with people that are over here legally, just in the healthcare system, some of them people are coming from really horrible places. You feel me? And to just send them back, and they have now U.S. citizens, taking away the rights of people
Mm-hmm.
being born here because their parents weren't born here. Like if you were born on U.S. soil, then you are a United States citizen. That's I'm sorry, that child is a United States citizen,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like there should be some kind of something for the parents to eventually become citizens, especially if that child is older or even a young child for real. They've been here, that you allow them to have a baby here, because another thing I know about this country with the babies is if you are pregnant, you shouldn't even be able to come into the country. They don't even give you clearance to do so. But if
Mm-hmm.
you do come here and you have a child here and you take residency here, you should be able to become a citizen. You shouldn't get deported and separated from your child and all that stuff. I didn't agree with any of the way it was done. It was horrible. But I do agree with you. Yes,
Yeah.
if you
I
are
mean, I
here
agree too.
illegally, you should not be here. It
All
should
I
right.
just be
agree.
done
Okay.
better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We off this right now. So I'm gonna just say that out. No matter what, y'all do this in another chat. So we gonna change.
I don't want to talk about it no more.
I mean, no, because I could have. It was actually on there, and I did have something, but I'm not even going to do that. So let's just switch up. This was actually a Bosco thing. I'm gonna skip one Bosco if it's okay with you, and go to the other one to try to
Yeah.
get it in.
Yeah.
Because it was like 5 different things, but we spent
Yeah.
not damn near an hour and a half on that, and get nowhere. But so Bosco wants to talk about this whole alien thing. So over the last couple of weeks, I'm not sure if anybody's been paying attention. I
You
know
talking about the ones up there this time?
right.
Okay. Because we say aliens, we
Bro,
gotta be
The ones
specific.
below.
let me arrive to the destination. Let me arrive to the destination. We just sat up here and got
Make
on
sure we
them
get there.
about doing what you just did. You
Make
know,
sure we talk about the
went
right
to this
aliens.
last week ago. Now me and
Make
you
sure
guys,
we talk about the right aliens. Because we got
Let me
illegal.
finish. Y'all was going.
I'm making sure we talk about the right aliens. That's all.
I was getting. You ain't let me finish.
Is y'all ready?
Okay.
I'm helping you out. Yeah.
We are so ghetto. Listen. So over the last couple of weeks, and really months, months, I'm gonna say years, we all knew
Yes.
that we were not the only life form here. But surprisingly, and what's funny is, especially over the last couple of weeks, they like, oh, when an alien invasion is coming, it was like a CNN headline. And I think I shared it to you guys or whatever. So they were talking about all this alien life form. So, you see all the documentaries and things like that. So Vasco question, he wants to discuss if aliens exist. And do you think you may have encountered one, and why?
Well,
so
this Mike.
I
Mike.
I could go.
Mike.
So based on the Emerald tablets that were written by the Naki,
Mike.
when they listen, when they left, and this is true. So when they left, right, you can look it up. He said when he left, there's some of us that stood behind, it may be amongst us. So some of the Naki may be amongst us. That's what it says in the green emblem tablets. Now, how do I believe it? Because they just found like 337 types of Earths. If what's his name on Degrassi, the Neil, he went and said that they found almost 337 different types of Earths. They even found an Earth that we could inhabit, but the ocean depth was too deep. That was the last one. They call it Planet X.
What are you talking? All right, what are you talking about here? Hold on, wait. What the fuck?
So,
what are we talking about?
Aliens, though. We
talk about aliens.
Aliens. You want me to
roll with it? It's Mike. Yeah, roll
y'all
with
ready?
it.
So
can I finish?
No, Mike got to
okay.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
Mike was going.
So you have the legend of the Anunnaki, right? You got the emblem tablets of Thoth. You got the hieroglyphs that actually points to, how the pyramids were built and the whole 9 yards, right?
Yeah,
so we've always had history written about extraterrestrials.
You
right?
have another one? You have another one?
No. You gotta let him finish.
When you talk about aliens, like what are you talking about? Like most people believe that the people who get scorched by the sun don't belong here. This is not their planet.
Oh yeah. Wait, who gets scorched by the sun?
Anything without melanin, they say.
Oh, stop, dude.
So when they did the genealogy based on our DNAs, our DNA proven.
You can't cut them off.
Our DNA proven that most of the people who have melanin never interacted with the Neanderthal at all. Right?
Okay.
So the Neanderthal is the only one that do not have any.
We're going to ask you to mute your mic because you have to let him finish. We're going to let you speak.
I want to try to interact with him, though. I was trying to interact with him.
We need to hear him so that we know what you're responding to.
Yeah, so we don't have, as people who have dark melanin, and they did our DNA don't have about like 1% of Neanderthal. And they can't find out where the origin of the Neanderthal came from, but they know the origin of the Homo sapien because it resides in the cradle of Africa.
So what you're saying is that people who are basically white have really big trouble with being in the sun.
No, that's not what he said at all.
That's not what I said. What I said was,
Just wait. I'm trying to figure out what you were saying. So you didn't say that. So then, what were you saying?
What I'm telling the people who have less melanin. You could be Asian, you could be Mexican, you can be Indian. If the sun burns you, you could be black. If the sun burns you, burn you, you do not belong on this planet.
Wow. That's your belief?
No, that's facts.
Oh, it's facts.
Right. Yeah, it's scientifically proven.
Hold up. Where did you get that from?
That's why I said you got to hear him out.
Where did you get that from?
You got to. So it was a study done.
No. I'm asking you to stop for a second. I'm going to go. So when Mike was speaking, he gave references to what he was speaking on. But what I don't want is anybody to take anything personalized. We're talking about something in general. We're not going to turn this to race or anything like that. So I'm going to cut that short. If we do, we're going to ask you to drop. And I'm going to ask you to drop.
I want to go. So I was watching something when they said the scientists said, wait a minute, hold up. What they said was, they compared it to the Bible. They were saying that when
all right.
The lights and the wings and the things they seen coming in was actually maybe extraterrestrial life coming down.
Yeah,
and they helped build the pyramids, and yada yada yada. That's why we all write different, and because they taught us all different stuff.
Cool.
And then you got the Russian scientists, which I talk about all the damn time, who went down the aliens that's below, because you got the ones that's above, but then the ones that
wait. You gotta
No. If you cut them off again, we're gonna have to drop you.
Yeah, look, Deb, you can't be cutting me off, because listen, I'm high. I be forgetting shit.
We let you speak, and you gotta let everybody else speak. It's a 2-hour show, and everybody up here voice is going to be heard. So, Rich, I sent you a text, and I'm going to say it publicly. Whoever continues to cut anybody off, they're getting dropped. That's just what I'm going to say, because now I'm getting pissed.
Hold on, wait a second. I was trying to come in there as part of the conversation.
No, you are, but you're cutting them off in the middle, and we can't do that because when you spoke, we've allowed you to speak, and I'm asking to let them finish, and then you can respond. It's fine, but everybody, it's a 2-hour show. You got to let everybody get their thought out, because when you do, me and Bosco cut them off and let you speak. We're asking you to do the same. Let her finish, then you can respond. If we can't do that, we're just going to have to drop. And I hope
Tell me when I can respond. Tell me when I can respond.
Wait, so what was I saying? What was I saying? 'Cause I forgot. I told y'all I'll be fucking high. Yeah. Oh, like the aliens below. The aliens below. You got aliens below, which was the ones that when the Russian scientists went down, they seen a hole from one of the little fucking thingies that took a picture. The satellites took a picture, and they saw that it was a hole in Antarctica. So they went down there. They went to go do some studying, and a light beam attacked them, whatever. And they made a fictional movie about it. But they've been making fictional movies about, in the sky the same way. But they proven that some of the stuff in the Bible it may be talking about aliens too. So I'm done. I'm done talking.
All right.
I don't like Neanderthals. They should have kept their ass in the motherfucking caves over there in the Caucasus Mountains.
Time. Let me say something. I can only go by experience. I'm not gonna go by what anyone else saw, what anyone read. Only by experience. I could say when I was small, I've seen some stuff happen. I could say when I got in my teens, I saw some stuff. In my adult years, I saw some stuff. And now that I'm getting in my gray years, I've seen some stuff. I remember when I was a kid, and I remember when I was a kid, this boy walked around the corner. He wasn't
Rich.
He wasn't I didn't know the kid, but I remember reading in the paper, he walked down the street and he turned the corner. The thing about it, they never found him. The thing about it, people on the other side around the corner, they never seen him turn the corner. And to this day, I was 13 or 14 when this happened. To this day,
what happened?
Found the kid that we don't know.
Well, what happened?
We don't know. He just disappeared.
We're not going to do this. I'm going to ask you, can you drop? Because everybody needs to.
He just disappeared.
Everybody's getting frustrated. I don't like a show like this. I'm sorry.
I don't think we're the only ones out there, because no one could tell me in this vast universe we're the only civilization out there.
Come on, man.
I can't do that. In all this vast universe, no way we're the only ones out there.
So hold on. We're not
doing this. He wasn't done.
Coco.
No, you can't Coco me right now because I've asked nicely like 18 times. We're all adults. Only thing I asked was to let people finish, and then you were next, and you can respond. But you're not respecting what I'm saying to you. And I'm really
I have respected
you're
what
not,
you're
because
saying.
you keep doing it, and now you're cutting me off, which is not going to go.
I am. As a matter of fact, I'd like to ask the gentleman right there, does he believe that something like the Bible has aliens in there? If you read the Bible,
if you read any holy book, they all speak about something.
No, they don't.
Beyond us. All of them do. They all do. Just people don't read the whole book. They only pick and choose what they want to read, and they only listen to what people do. When I was locked up, I read the Bible from front to back twice.
Then what happened? I just got back.
We had to cut.
I don't like repeating myself. We gonna have a meeting after that.
We had to cut dog.
I'm pissed off right now.
Each book speaks about it. That's the best I can say. Each book.
I mean, Enoch talks about it. Enoch talks about how he was created. If you read the Anunnaki Texas from Samaria talks about it. How how they came here, how they created man from the species that was already here. The species that was already here was called Homo erectus, right? So you're looking at, well, if it's Homo erectus, then what else that were made? That's right. The book of Cain, when Cain gets put out the garden, he tells you that's why God put a mark on him. so that he doesn't get killed by the Neanderthals. So it was other people already here.
Yeah, and you know where they at, Mike? They all in the book of they hiding them, don't want us to know. All the books that are forbidden that we ain't supposed to see, and I mean read, and you know.
Talking about the Book of Jubilees to let you know who begotten who. They talk about the genealogy. They even tell you Jesus didn't get killed. But you got the book of Ishur. I got them all. I got every book. You get the Ethiopian Bible. They got every book that was ever written. 157 books.
Yeah, my brother got that in the Book of the Dead. He has it.
Yeah, I got the Book of the Dead downstairs.
I got a aftermarket one, but it's pretty decent.
Yeah, as long as you got it.
And see, you know what? One of those. And the thing about it, I think people get so caught up in their religion that they don't read beyond the book, the Bible, or Quran, whatever. They don't read beyond it. They stuck into that, and still they don't even really read the Bible. Because if they actually read the Bible for what it actually says, a lot of the shit, if they actually read that Bible and went by what that Bible said,
yeah, it only took one part.
They only took one part. They only took one part. They only know one part, and they only talk about one part. They talk about John 3:16, and they talk about the thing about homosexuality. That's all they talk about.
Well, they need to realize as well that they can go back and find 5,000-year-old African tombs of kings and queens and everything else and all this stuff, but they can't find the people of the Bible because the people of the Bible were not of this earth. So
that's what I say.
So they went back to the planets wherever they came from.
That's how.
And like I said, they came down here. I mean, you gotta realize people ain't thinking. There was no way of measuring stuff. Who created the way of measuring stuff for the pyramids and all this stuff to be built? Who created that way? I mean,
underground cities, kingdoms they find in and everywhere. The one they found underwater, like a few days ago.
Yeah, the one they call Atlantis, right there with Cuba.
Right in Cuba, yeah.
All right, so listen, hold on. So the guy,
Mike, hold on, but what you say you do though, Mike? Hold on, what you say you do, Mike? Did you say you do some architect stuff?
Yeah, I'm a network architect.
See, that's what our people derive from. Architecture.
Yep, architecture. Yeah.
But I'll give you a secret, just like every cable that's ever connects your internet is underground. They laid it in the ocean first.
Figure that out.
We will never lose internet connection ever.
Yeah, figure that out.
So do you go, well, how can you connect continents together? But you're having problems connecting rural areas together.
Right.
Okay.
You made a point, Mike. You can make a call from here all the way to Egypt. No, you got that big ass ocean and ain't no telephone lines going across.
Because they're using that alien technology.
You can get on. You can watch TV, all this stuff.
So listen, I was trying to get the guy named Semitic in because I wanted to hear him, right? Because I know he's been trying to get in all night. I seen him struggling with.
Tell him to come on.
Come on, man. Come on, say your piece, man.
Come on in.
What's his name? Q.
Q right there. Yeah.
No, I saw his chat that said, "Who cares about Africans?" That's where I was like, "Well, wait a minute."
Oh no, I ain't talking about that. So listen, this is what I learned about life.
That up here, we're not doing that.
I'm not doing that. Yeah,
we're not doing that.
So what I want to talk about,
we're not doing that.
Look, so this is what I want to talk about when it comes to aliens, right? So every technology isn't new. We just have refined it, right?
Right.
But what they have noticed is that when they go to the carvings of the cities and the walls, what they found out is that we basically lost the technology to be able to do it, right? So I went back and studied the Anunnaki, right? So I went back whenever you get a chance, get on YouTube. They got videos all about it, right?
Yep.
But they talk about the Anunnaki, right? The Sumerians were the only king. They have a king's list that never broken, even during the so-called flood, right? But what they talk about is that one of the Anunnakis got mad that we lived forever. So they shortened, I forgot what the genome was in our DNA. Now scientists are trying to see how they can elongate it so we can live longer. They want to know if this theory is true, right? Because At first, we lived forever, 4,000, 5,000 years. If you look at this King's List, it's just after the King's List, after the first war with the Anunnaki gods, they came back and shortened the human lifespan by shortening. I forgot what it is. I'm gonna know about it by next week. I'm gonna post it. But in John Hopkins, they trying to see if they can elongate this one part of our DNA. Can they rewrite it to make it longer again?
Hey!
So that's what I'm that's what I'm waiting to see out of this study. That's
we running out of time, so everybody gotta go quick because she needs to go as well. So right. if we gotta get everybody in, so we can't drag this, please. Bosco, I need you to take over, please. Thank you.
All right.
What did I miss? Hold on.
Let's see where we're at.
Still on the same thing, but I just need you to.
I got it. Yeah. I think with this subject, I think people are still stuck in. I mean, I'm not talking about the panel. I think people are just still stuck into their religious beliefs, and they don't look at anything outside of that, and that makes them closed-minded. Because my brother used to be that way, and I said, bro, like the Bible says, seek the truth. You know what I mean? Prove all things. It doesn't mean just read the Bible and be done with it. Because it was through the Bible why I left Christianity, to be honest with you, because of what I read. I was like, oh, okay. So what they was telling me in the church was bullshit. Basically, they were just telling me shit they wanted me to hear, but this book told me something different, and I left Christianity. I'm like, nah, this is not for me. And it's not because it's Christianity, because I'm like, there are no Christians in the Bible.
That's right.
That's the thing. There are no Christians in the Bible.
That's correct.
So
go ahead, T. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me add on to that.
Hold on. Can we, because
she gotta go.
This is where I need to get it. Let because she just joined. Let's let her go first. Then Q can go, and then we can go in rotation. We gotta let everybody get it.
All right.
I forgot we was talking about based off of what Bosco said.
We talk aliens.
Okay.
Like, do they exist, and what are your experience with them, or whatever? What is your views, basically?
Okay, I can do that. Y'all ready? So I've never experienced an alien, but I do believe in aliens. Now, I am a Christian and I do read my Bible faithfully. Okay. So I don't know what part. So I understand everything that you're saying, but I'm a Christian. I still believe in aliens. So I don't know what that tells you. But the way I see it is that, because I've been listening a lot about like the ocean. So the ocean, we don't know most of what's in the ocean. So what I personally believe is that when it comes down to the ocean, it's like two levels. It's like levels to the ocean. Mm-hmm. So, they've said like they found more water underneath water. How you find water underneath water?
Mm-hmm.
So
they found bridges.
That's where that's where I feel like they are. They're right underneath where water is underwater. Mm-hmm. That's where they are, because there's a still part down there. Mm-hmm. So if we only living on the surface, then what's on the underneath? I've always believed that. I feel like my mother taught me that. Like, there's always definitely something other than us. Now, whether or not we've encountered it, that's something I know I personally haven't. If y'all have, I would love to hear it.
I believe it's in the Mariana Trench.
That's right. I believe in the Mariana Trench.
Because no man, submarine otherwise, has gone down that deep because of all the pressure. Go ahead, Mike.
They did. So the Mariana Trench, they went down with a manless submarine, and they found water underwater.
Yeah.
And they got a picture. And I go on YouTube right now because they just started publishing it, where you can actually see the reflection of the water.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is huge. That's why when they say it's water underneath water, it's because they took the picture. Mm-hmm. They took the picture right in the Mariana Trench. I was pumped.
Was the place where when they got down to a certain point, it looked like it was a beach, and
That's
then they
right.
went
The beach.
through it.
That's
They
right.
went
Yep.
through it, but they can't get through the water. So it's
Right.
like when you try to get through the water, they bounce off of the water there. So
And you know,
wherever the water
okay.
is, you can't get. Yeah, you can't get in it. But it looked like a beach, so they went through it, and then they realized like it was a whole nother like part of the ocean or whatever, the Mariana Trench, and then it's like a bouncy
But
fucking
here's the plot
surface.
twist to that. Notice it's in the Pacific. You notice our wars have happened always in the Pacific,
Yep.
but we haven't had any wars in the Atlantic.
Yep.
It's always been because Midway's in the Pacific. And that's where the Mariana Trench is. So that tells you a lot.
So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you believe there's life underneath Antarctica?
Yeah.
No, I believe that Antarctica bridge, that wall exists to block us from going any further, and that the United States military is guarding it, period. That's why we have so many undercover bases that's in Antarctica that you don't know about.
There's something going on there.
We have 15 military bases up there.
There's something
No,
going
but
on
I
there.
even think, just to chime in, even with like the glaciers that's melting and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
So I really think they're melting for a reason. Just think about it, the amount of the way that it's melting now. All of a sudden they're like, oh, an invasion is coming. So I believe once it fully melts, they already here.
We're gonna
It's
see
just a
what's
matter
there.
of they're on the other side, because we don't know what's on the other side of this earth. We don't know what else is in the water. I don't think they're going to come from the sky. They're going to come from the water, because I don't care what nobody say. Mermaids exist, and I believe mermaids are the actual aliens. Then when you think about it and you look into all of these different new mammal life and marine life that's being found, and I think Jude and I and Bosco had this conversation, like even when we don't even know what's below, but we know we can't survive below. But there are life forms that are surviving in those depths.
Hey,
so
Coco.
who's to say what's going? And we only explore 15 to 20% of our
20%.
ocean. So
Hey, Coco.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Look up the jellyfish that's down there in the Mariana Trench. Just look it up.
Yep.
Giant squid.
I want y'all to send me all the links y'all got to all this.
It's like 2 miles long. I'm like,
it will bust your ass.
So listen, Coco, the reason why Antarctica is you said a few things. The reason why Antarctica is melting so fast is because they encountered a thing called blue ice.
Yep.
They dug so far down that they encountered that blue ice, and when they bring it up to the surface, they can't get it back to test, so they got to test it there. But think about how many samples of that you had to get, and if you keep poking holes in the foundation, it's going to eventually crack.
It's going to come through. Yep.
But species of life in the water, they found a shark. I think I just seen it on the news yesterday or today. A shark that's been alive longer than the water that is living in. Like no more crab. And just think about that. You think like, wait, living like older than the water you've been living in. Like so that shark survived ice age. And think of the depth that shark had to survive in that we probably can't, live in. You feel me? Like that's serious.
Like I said last week about the ship blowing up, but you got fish down there. That can live through all that,
Can I ask a question? So you know how I like medieval times, and I like movies and shows that go back into like Roman times and all of those things. I'm into that, the pyramids and all of that stuff, right? So you know how when we watch certain shows, because we know it's some truth in this, and people during those times lived centuries. They would call it like the wizards, and all of those things. So you're like, how old are you? They'd be like 258. He's like, God damn. So the lifespan was longer. And we all know, I strongly believe what we did to this earth is what causes us to have a shorter lifespan. So even during those times, so do you think like the aliens are really the people that's just living,
No, so I told you. I said, listen, if you go,
I know you missed that, Naki, but I got a little.
No. But listen, I know you was frustrated. I kind of went to the private polls. I seen it. So this is what happened. We lived for 4,000 years. and based on the Sumerian history, we lived for 4,000 years. They got a whole. I'm gonna post the kings list for you. And then when you go and study the Naki, he actually tell you that the brother was jealous of the humans and he shortened our lifespan. He shortened a part of our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, John Hopkins on the verge of trying to do experiments to extend it. Right? I can't wait because I'm trying to live at least 5,000 years, shorty. I want to see if this work, right? Even though it's it's in theory.
That's when you get to 100.
With theory, with and what I'm learning is that we as people, we tend to take things that are written and things that are been translated and things that have been presented. If it's out of this world, we classify it as being as like nuts.
Yeah.
But you can't say that when it's written on gold. It's written on green tablets. Like it's written on green tablets.
Oh, can we do this? So in a couple of years, I ain't gonna say how old I'm gonna be, but y'all got like 3 years. This is my bucket list. I do want to go to the pyramids. So because when you say that on those pyramids, and I know a couple people that went, and when I see the pictures, I want to see it in person. It's because I know the pictures and the documentaries, they're like fascinating to me.
When you go there,
on those walls.
Listen,
and speaking of the pyramid,
listen. When you go
I got it. Let me finish. Then you go.
When you go to Luxor,
no, she got a bad memory. She got a bad memory.
And it's a question that's going to follow. So I want to do that because I mean it goes back to what you were saying as far as like what's written in tablets. But on those pyramids, they told a story of life. You feel me? But the other question was, and I know you did, I know Drew did, because me and Drew had this conversation and Bosco did as well. But they're also, the pyramids don't stop where we think they stop.
No. So, so I've been to 2. Look, when we're gonna do the pyramids, we got to start at Sudan and work our way up to Egypt. So the first pyramids that was ever made were in Africa that was ever made. Now it's an older pyramid here in the United States, and it's in Minnesota, and we need to go. It's a mound. We're gonna talk about that later. That got me pumped. So I've been to Egypt. I've been to the Sudan. I know what's on the walls. We can go get the tour. I took the tour with a dude. Is reading the Male Netta, which is the language of Egypt. I know how to read it. Like we can go, as you can see, the Immaculate Conception that was way before Jesus. That's written on the walls with the cow and half. You'll talk about. Oh, it's a lot. I can't wait. Whenever y'all ready, you let the boy know so we can go see this tour together. When I tell you,
I'm with it.
This. When you go to the University of Luxor, which is the first university, you will see Freemasonry on the wall. It is, oh my God, it's awesome. It is awesome. Y'all got me pumped. See, I'm like a little kid.
Come on, go.
That's my thing. When I turned that age in 3 years or so, I was like, that is where I'm going to go. It's going to be expensive. I want to make sure I'm able to stay. That's not something that you can do in a weekend. You don't. You gotta stay for 2 weeks. You're right. Like, at least I want to get the whole experience, and I really want to navigate. I want to go through and all of that stuff.
Look, I'm gonna give you my Meta Netta book translation. I got that here. If you serious, I'm like a kid.
What you laughing at?
I'm like a kid.
You said what, Coco?
I'm like a kid, man.
Oh.
I am like a kid when it comes to this. I've been waiting for people to go to Egypt. I went by myself. And I came back with a throw made from silk. I went and got my measurements done. Oh, it's.
So question, Paul and Quentin, are you guys into stuff like that? Because I would like to, we talked about it, but I didn't know how me, Drew, Bosco, and now Mike, of course, we're like geeks of like that type of stuff. You feel me? So are y'all? Because we would like to do a show on that. I know Tasia is too, because she's my child. So for those that don't, that's my daughter.
Oh, no kidding.
You don't know.
We just ain't seen her in a while.
That's my daughter.
Just a little bit.
We ain't seen her since the first kid.
Oh Lord,
so that's been a long time. You know what I mean?
That's my niece.
So I really would like to do a show on it because I think it's such an extensive conversation that can be had because it goes into so many, and it's not just about like supernatural or like certain things, but just like to have a healthy conversation about it. Because let's be realistic, I just hope that I see it in my lifetime. But I do think if it's not in this life, it'll be in the next life. Which goes into I also want to get into like that's going to be a little deep though. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Like
reincarnation and all that.
I do believe in afterlife. I
do too.
I don't believe your spirit or your soul dies. Just it just goes into another vessel. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you ever feel like, and this is gonna be weird, so forgive me.
So
know
you believe in
I
the
be
Hindu?
on that.
So you believe in the Hindu belief of reincarnation?
Yeah, you know,
Perfect.
I'm part Indian.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so I'm dead ass. Like I really do. Like sometimes
Same here.
you ever feel like I ain't missed nothing. Like it's a blur, but you feel like you've been there, but now it's just you in this life.
Yeah.
So listen.
Like,
So I'm
and then,
when y'all start this, right?
so when you also do it, I'm gonna
Yeah.
also bring in dimensions.
Okay.
Okay. So when y'all start this, right? When we start this
Oh,
here,
we're gonna do it next week.
so I believe in the Egyptian version of death. Right, so I believe that they take your heart and they wear it against a feather, and your heart is lighter than the feather. Then you go, and I got to see you no more. The Indians believe that if you lived a fucked up life, you ought to be brought back here as many times until you get it corrected.
Yeah,
and you should have pieces of your life that you should automatically feel like deja vu. I'm with it. I don't believe in the Buddhist aspect of it. I don't want to come back as no bug or no roach or no shit like that. So I don't fuck with them.
no, but I told Bosco I really want to read up and study Buddhism. I think Buddhism is one of the right now for us culturally. I think it's one of the more I don't know if sacred is a strong word to use, but it's one of them cultures that I want to say sacred.
So
You know
so
what I
you
mean?
want to study? So you want to read the eightfold? When you're ready, I give you the book. I got it all here, shorty. Whenever you ready, I got the eightfold, which is the book,
Mike,
that
what the fuck?
Buddhism
You
read.
got a library? I want to see it.
I'm a
Oh,
Freemason.
that motherfucker like the enough print free fucking library.
I am a
I told
Freemason
you I
at
want
its
all the
core.
research material y'all got.
But I did. I was asking Quentin and Paul, are y'all
I need
into
to,
that kind of stuff?
I need to get my goddamn. I need to collect the. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like I watched I follow Dante's Inferno.
Okay,
right?
there you go. Yeah, me too. The levels.
Yeah, because it's like 9 levels of hell.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
J-Bab, of course.
Huh?
I'm sorry. J-Bab asked, he said he can't wait. He want to call in. I said, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what level of hell that you have died on, so to speak. If you were a greedy man, then you will go to I think what the 6th level or something like that.
You go to the 6th level. If you was a rapist, you go to the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? If you was a murderer, you go to 1.
Yep.
So listen. So I put the link in the our text in the chat. That's what you need to go see.
I was looking at something. I don't know who I was talking to. It was a while ago. It was probably like last year sometime. And even if like you Google like dimensions and people are like, oh, I don't believe in heaven. I'm like, you don't stop at heaven. You know, you go through the different dimensions of life.
Yeah.
Heaven is just one. It's the next one from the one that we're currently in. So that's why I believe in like ascending to the different dimensions. But I think so. Another question that Bosco had, I know we're running short on time, were about like the stars in our solar system. So when we talk about dimensions and things like that, I want to tie that into galaxies. So I feel like you know, see how the Earth is like traveling right now, and like you mentioned, Mike, all of these different Earths and all of these different planets and everything is being formed because we're traveling differently and we're getting closer to like the Milky Way and all of these different things, right? So I feel like you just go through a different dimension. So we don't know what's through there or whatever. So I just feel like that's where your spirit goes because you got it goes through.
So Alexa, check it. So when we get into dimension stars, we'll talk about Sirius B. We'll talk about the Dogon tribe. We'll talk about the 342 Earths they found. We'll talk about the new galaxy they just found, and they're trying to make a device that can go through dark black holes, just like they did in Star Trek as wormholes. Like we're really getting close to actually being able to travel once again. The problem is that our solar system, our galaxy, is guarded by really, really jagged rocks. That's why when you hear people talk about Yeah, when you hear them talk about us trying to get through the galaxy, now they talking about now we have a space station up there now, and now they talk about trying to get nuclear weapons to be able to be blown up in space. They want to test it in Mars glacier. It's a lot. We can talk. I'm big on this. Like,
Yeah,
this is my niche.
And I'm gonna just add this part to it. If you want to know what they've tried in space so far, go to your TV streaming network and go to the science fiction section and just have a field day, because Alien is now available from the rooter to the tutor. Pay attention to that, because Coco mentioned something about they're gonna come from below.
Yep.
Yeah, baby. They found a few things over there. Remember that blue ice I was talking to you about? Water was one of the things in one of those alien movies. What was it? The Water World or something, when we went dry.
Water World.
And it was something about the water. Excuse me. And then the aliens, they watch them from the first one to the recent. They telling you a story. You want to know what they know? You gotta stop thinking fiction is fiction.
Because they put the truth right in your face. I think Boswell said this a lot of times.
Who said that?
Which is like,
y'all got me buzzing. Look at y'all. I know y'all want some sci-fi.
A lie can sound so good. It's easy to believe. It's easy to believe a lie, but it's always hard to believe the truth. So they put the truth right in your face. Yep. But Paul, I love you. What you want to take? You want to say what you guys say?
You know me. I love you too.
Motherfucking Paul was wrestling tonight.
No, Paul wasn't by himself, but no, you ain't got to worry about that no more.
Oh yeah.
You
know, I don't fucking know. I almost took my wig off.
Hey, I stepped away for a second, man. Paul was like, "Don't interrupt me."
Yo, he was about to jump through that screen and knock that dude out. So I was like, "Yo."
I was like, "Yo, I ain't never seen him like that. I ain't never seen him like that." I was like,
"He was drunk, man."
Now I seen last week.
He was, because he wasn't like that last week. He was definitely. I think he had been drinking. Or allegedly. I mean, I don't like to put.
He was drinking.
No. Yeah, the cool's beer was in his hand.
Yeah,
little cheap ass beer.
White trash beer.
I just want to put a disclaimer.
White trash beer.
No.
Don't do that.
It's just cheap beer. It's cheap beer, though. That's for real.
Let me just put a disclaimer. Let me just say this. I really don't like getting out of character. Anybody who knows me knows it takes a lot to take me there. I don't like disrespect. Like I said, I don't care who comes up here. Anybody knows, I will send a link to whoever. You can be in West Bubblefuck. I will send you the link. Only thing I ask is to respect everybody on the panel. And I ask everybody who's a permanent, routinely guesser to do the same. But I will never allow anyone to disrespect anyone. I don't care who come up here or who does not. I just ask to respect the rules. And we don't really have rules. You can say what you want to say, but just don't be disrespectful. Like, your perspective, your view is yours. Hold on. I'm sorry, Judy. I got you.
I got your back, Coco. I got your back. I'm telling you. We ready.
I just want to know where the hell is West Bubblefuck is. Is that somewhere in Baltimore?
Anywhere. I mean,
listen. All I want to say, he said it. He said it right there, Coco. Listen, that's your disclaimer. Keep in mind, most of us on this motherfucker from Baltimore.
So where the hell is West Bubblefuck?
And Wichita and fucking Paul is down in North Carolina. Don't bring this motherfucker acting crazy and act like we want some motherfucking get on your ass. Everybody motherfucking caught their self. I want to say I'm proud of you.
So was West Bubblefucking
no, not everybody, because I'm gonna tell you who didn't. Mike was so caught up in the car. Everything was sitting right there. Mike, all you see after everything is done, Mike go, "But what I missed?"
Hey.
All right, so let me tell you what I did. Hold on, stop, y'all. Let me tell you this second, so I know this better in the show. Listen, I'm used to them. People like them.
All races. They're people.
So people that's like have the same, they have the same ideology. Right. That's what I said. No matter what your race is people with that same mentality. So I learned how to diffuse it by just ignoring this shit. Like, if we're gonna talk, well, let's talk facts. If you want to know where I got the information, I'll send you the link. But when I seen Paul lose his shit,
Right.
I was like, yeah, let me turn off my light. You see me turn off the camera. I turned off the
I
camera.
didn't lose it.
Hey,
I didn't lose it. I just don't like that. I didn't lose nothing. That was calculated because I was waiting on his ass to do that. Keep doing that dumb stuff.
No,
I knew he was gonna do that dumb stuff.
Okay, you
And I didn't
Baltimore
want to go
niggas.
there,
Let me
but I
ask
wanted
you a
him to
question.
know.
Let me ask you Baltimore niggas a question.
Yeah.
First of all, rephrase that. We bought him.
Let me ask y'all niggas this. Is West Bubblefuck was it in the wire?
Hell yeah, it was. Hell yeah.
It's on
We done.
54
See all 4 seasons of the wire. I'm trying to figure out what that would have been.
It was in season
You live in
motherfucking
West
3.
Bubblefuck. It ain't nothing but trees and all of that.
Yep,
That's where what's got. That's where Chick got killed.
That's some woods.
That's where Chick got killed in season 4, right? In
That's
the alley,
right.
right?
Right. No, in West Bubblefuck.
I want to know. So when I come through Baltimore next time, I know where not to go.
Yeah. Don't get lost in West Bubblefuck. It's called Lincoln Park.
Okay.
No, but
you get lost in
let me just.
But I don't like that. I don't appreciate people talking over people like that. And he kept doing that. I don't like that. I was quiet the whole time. He kept talking over people. I don't like that, man. I don't. You try to use your privilege.
I know you heard it.
You try to use your privilege as a guest. Now you a guest up on your show. You a guest, like the rest of us, and you try to use your privilege to keep asserting yourself into people's stuff before they got a chance to finish talking. I don't like that. And that really that's a trigger for me because I don't like people like that thinking that, hey, I'm here, you invite me in, and I'm gonna kick the door in, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And no. You gotta abide by the rules just like the rest of us. You're not special here.
I agree, but I don't think it was privilege. I think it was influence, honestly and truthfully speaking. I think it was.
You think it was what influence?
I think it was influence than privilege.
Or what, alcohol?
But because we've all been inebriated up here before. It was we didn't hear everything out. We've done some things, said some things, but that's why I said I think it was more because that was a different person than what we had last week. I will say that. So I'm not trying to make excuses, but what I want to apologize for, nobody should see anyone being reprimanded, but it had to be done. But that's something that I honestly don't like to do, and I don't do. And I hope that's the first and last time that I've ever had to.
Oh no, it is
outside of myself to get. All I ask is whoever come up here, just you can say what you gotta say to whoever it is, but just know, respect the response that you get. And I tell everybody, just know you can say your perspective, and we can respect it. But
block his account on YouTube.
Yeah, but just know it's gonna it's gonna someone's gonna say something, but you gotta let everybody say what they gotta say. And I respect. We don't always agree, and we up here every week. You know what I mean? But I respect everybody's view. I respect everybody's perspective. So I won't say it was privilege. I will say I felt like it was influence, based on a lot of behaviors. Like Mike say, I always psychoanalyze, but that's what I do for a living. But it was definitely what I saw was influence. I didn't see privilege. I saw influence because in some instances there were a lot of things that were agreed on, but I think the focus kept going into
what I
noticed, and it can be overwhelming when you on a panel of people that's different from you.
So I can tell you what I noticed. If you go back and see it, he's talking to somebody that's in the room with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen that, and I was like, okay, well, cool. But let me keep it going. Right, and then you'll see him turn off the camera, then come back on, then he'll pan off to the side, and he'll be having a side conversation. My thing is this: for everybody who's going to come up here, we are all not the same. We all may be black, but we are not monolithical. We're not all the same. Yeah. And what I realize is that when we do have conversations that involve that he thought everybody was Democrat. I voted for Trump 3 times, good man.
I'm independent.
And I'm independent too. And I think like when people like group all of us together, like we are medical people, we are chefs, we are activists, we are IT people, bro. You're gonna get a perspective where you might not like it based on what your ideology of us are. And if you watch the show long enough, you will know that we are very articulate. Our topics aren't about current events and none of that. We really go in depth with everything that we talk about because we actually care about what we're talking about. And I think that's what most people don't understand. Like, you can come on the show, but understand when you come on, we are nerds. You know what I'm saying? We are not those ones to be played with, bro.
Yes, I play the Sims.
We are nerds. Right.
I'm about
we
to
are
play
nerds.
with you.
We
gonna be on Twitch.
Yeah, we are nerds, and on my birthday, if y'all do I'm gonna record myself being at this animated con. Man, we go and we have fun. So if you come up here, understand that you're gonna get a dose. You're gonna get a dose of some stuff that will shock your whole central nervous system. You know what I'm saying?
So I just wanted to do that public apology. We do have to go, but so next week, Paul Quentin and whoever may come up, just know we're gonna be talking about aliens, the solar system, and all of that stuff. We're gonna have a whole geek conversation. Everything ain't for everybody, but one thing I can say, we can talk about this today and people will not be interested, but do you know everything that we talked about last year or 2 years ago has came to fruition today? So with that being said, Vasco, please. Thank you.
Once again, thank you for tuning in. Casual Convo Show watches every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. Thank you to all our guests, even to the guy that we had to boot off the show. I'm not going to give you any props. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. Big shouts to T. Us for showing up. She ain't been here since the first baby, but she up in the building.
Everybody go to the group chat.
My big blue crew, my man Q. We got the governor Mike, me right there. You see me. I ain't got my glasses on. We got the mayor of Asheville. We got Paul up in the corner. We got the Jew. We got Rich in the back. That's the guy who gets rid of people. And we got the host Coco. We'll be back next week. Check us out. Be part of the show. We talk about Elroy Jetson and all of that shit up there. See y'all next week. We out. Peace.